Anime mentors aren't just teachers, they're total badasses too.
I can eliminate you both at the same time.
Take Kakashi showing off his Sharingan against Zabuza, or Gojo wiping the floor with a cursed spirit just to make a point. These guys don't just teach, they flex their skills in ways that leave us in awe. Kakashi vs. Zabuza. This was one of those episodes that would hook you so badly that you'd end up watching a 720 episode series in a week or two. It started with Naruto and Sasuke trying to free their sensei from the water prison jutsu. Once freed, Kakashi thanked them and said he would take care of it from there. Kakashi then revealed his Sharingan, and it was so overpowered that he started copying his opponent's moves and jutsu to perfection. His opponent actually believed that Kakashi could see the future and read his mind. Not only did Kakashi defeat his opponent by copying and using his own jutsu against him, but he also showed off in front of his students and lived up to his name, Copy Ninja Kakashi. Reigen vs. Scar Organization. When Mob was about to lose control and kill every single member of the Claw organization that was trying to kill his brother and friend, his master arrived and told him to just run away.
Run away and save yourself!
But when the villains didn't stop provoking, he finally took matters into his own hands and gave them a reality check. After this, we get a hilarious sequence of Reigen at 1000% of Mob's power, destroying every single season finale villain on his own. Katanas were like plastic toys to him, and even punches from spirits just bounced off his face. Every single strike from him was like getting punched by Saitama himself. I guess it was because they are from the same creator after all. Even magical black orbs are nothing more than bubbles to him.
Are these soap bubbles?
What's more humiliating than this, you ask? He beat them so badly that every single one of them changed their lives around and became a good guy. If you all think he did that with just Mob's power, then how about when he single-handedly destroyed Shimazaki with another one of his legendary moves called Self-Defense Rush? I think Reigen was the strongest character in the show, but he hit it to avoid taking the spotlight from Mob. Rayleigh vs. Admiral. This is one of those moments in anime where the main character's journey almost ends early. Luffy and his crew were on the verge of dying at the hands of Kizaru when the Dark King Rayleigh came dashing in to protect them. Even in his old age, he was able to easily hold off an admiral to help them escape. If that wasn't enough, when Luffy went to pay his respects to Ace, Rayleigh protected the ship from cannons by throwing little marbles at them like they were nothing. His haki alone was enough to scare off Blackbeard to protect Boa Hancock. He may not have long fights, but that's just because he's too scary for anyone to go against in a full-on battle. Roshi destroys Moon. Master Roshi has taught almost all the Z fighters, and even in his old age, he remains a top contender for the strongest human. He proved his capabilities in the Tournament of Power, going against other universes and still managing to hold his ground, earning respect from the God of Destruction himself.
Still, you fought well for an old guy.
But if you ask me, one of his best showings was when he faced Kid Goku in a martial arts tournament. Due to the full moon, Goku turned into a giant ape, and Roshi decided to put an end to that transformation once and for all. While everyone else thought about going after Goku's tail, Master Roshi went for the moon itself. His theory was that with the moon destroyed, it couldn't possibly get full again, so Goku would never turn into an ape again. Wiser words were never spoken in the history of Dragon Ball. All Might vs. Nomu. The entire story of My Hero Academia was almost cut short when the League of Villains decided to attack the US, almost leaving everyone present on the verge of death. This included top-ranked teachers and some of the most powerful students. As the last hope, the number one hero, All Might, appeared, and for the first time, he wasn't smiling. All Might made quick work of the side villains and went to face a Nomu that was specifically created to withstand his 100% power. This Nomu had everything: shock absorption, super fast regeneration, super strength, and super speed. After needing a quick save from his students, All Might went to face this Nomu in a one-on-one match and quickly showed everyone what it means to be the number one hero. What came next was All Might beating the shock absorbing right out of Nomu by going above and beyond his limits. With his final punch, he sent Nomu flying so high that for a second, it looked like a star in the sky. This heroic moment had the perfect mix of emotions and thrills, earning it a top spot on this list. Gojo shows off against Jogo. Unlike some instances where teachers either protect their students or help them escape from a major threat, this one's quite different. Gojo, being Gojo, brought his student to the site of the fight so his student could witness him battle a special grade curse spirit and learn about domains. He was so overpowered that while protecting his student and teaching him, he dominated Jogo in a one-sided contest of domains and took his head off like it was nothing. When his students were caught inside a barrier specifically designed to keep Gojo out, he broke through within 30 minutes and destroyed another special grade spirit with his hollow purple. It was so powerful that Todo had to stop Yuji from getting in the way of Gojo's attack. Gojo epitomizes the art of showing off, and as he said, he alone is the honored one. Yami vs. Licht. Yami is mostly busy taking a break, even when the world's being destroyed. He just tells his students to surpass their limits and beat any challenge they face. But in some rare cases, we do see Yami show off, and those moments are a sight to behold. Remember Yami vs. Dante or Licht? Both of those fights were enough to see Yami in his prime, protecting his squad and showing off his skills with attacks like Death Thrust, Mana Zone Equinox. But his best example was when he faced Veto, or more precisely, destroyed Veto in one shot. As usual, he arrived late, thanked his squad for letting him take all the glory, and then proceeded to cut his opponent with a Dimension Slash. Did I mention he had just learned that move 5 minutes ago? This is a perfect example of pure skill and a laid-back attitude. Benimaru vs. Demon. Benimaru is the strongest captain in the Fire Force. He showcased this when he destroyed the main character and his entire unit in the streets due to a misunderstanding. Later on, he helped them by defeating the demon they were struggling to fight. When facing the demon, he not only outclassed him in hand-to-hand combat, but also in firepower. He then took the demon into the sky with his fire brooms like Harry Potter and destroyed him with the coolest attack ever. Using Crimson Moon, he one-shotted the demon and turned the entire moon red. Later, he agreed to train both Shinra and Arthur to help them get stronger. So, is it like Dragon Ball or One Punch Man, where you just have to do more push-ups than a normal human being? No, Benimaru doesn't believe in such methods. He'll tie you to a horse wagon and drag you by your feet in the middle of the road, butt naked, or spin you around all day, again, butt naked. After enduring this training all day, both Shinra and Arthur decided to go against Benimaru to test their strength and get a bit of revenge for the training he put them through. He set Shinra flying with rapid kicks and punches and absolutely dominated him with fire blasts. Even Arthur was completely helpless, and both of them couldn't even scratch him all day. Saitama vs. Genos. What happens when a student challenges the master and asks them to fight seriously to either measure their own strength or to show off their new skills? This is where we get Genos to be Saitama. Genos was determined to compare himself to Saitama at full power and therefore challenged him in a one-on-one duel. But he loses to him, and here's where he realized how much more power his master has compared to him. But this did not stop him from challenging Saitama again. In One Punch Man, Genos has been eager for a rematch with Saitama for quite some time, and Chapter 186 finally sees him getting his wish. However, even Genos couldn't have predicted how much this match would have turned out. In the beginning of Chapter 186, Genos challenges Saitama again, who gladly agrees. This was their first rematch since Chapter 17. So many fans were looking forward to seeing how Genos had grown and perhaps witnessing Saitama's strength as well. Genos and Saitama head out to an unpopulated area, and Genos prepares to launch his first attack, lighting up brilliantly and blinding Saitama. Genos pulls his punch at the last second upon seeing Saitama's eyes closed in response to the brightness, realizing that Saitama had no fear of being hurt by him at all. Despite everything, Genos' power is still like that of an insect compared to Saitama, showing more powerful One Punch Man really is. This rematch perfectly mirrors the original sparring match from Chapter 17. When they first battled, Saitama goes behind Genos and launched a punch that sent Genos' danger sense into overdrive. However, Saitama ultimately stopped short of hitting Genos, encouraging him to call it a day. That was the first time Genos experienced the full extent of Saitama's power, realizing how easily he could have destroyed by the sheer force of the air moved by Saitama's pulled punch. In this rematch, Genos stops short of hitting Saitama in almost the exact same way, yet the reason for halting the attack remains the same. Even if the roles of the attacker-defender are reversed, Saitama's power is so superior to Genos's that there is absolutely no point in having a match. Mereoleona vs. 5 Elves. In the intense fight between Mereoleona and the Elves, Rayleigh and his crew team up to take her on. Rayleigh bursts out spatial magic and dodge Mereoleona's attacks and amp up his own powers. Meanwhile, Puli and Lyra back him up with spells aimed at overwhelming Mereoleona. But she's no pushover. She counters her spells with her blazing fire magic, refusing to give an inch. The Elves, thinking Mereoleona might be an easy target, keep pushing their advantage. Fragile tries a sleep spell to knock her out, and Rasa traps her in a sandstorm. But Mereoleona breaks loose and comes back swinging, swearing to take them all down. Rayleigh jumps in, landing a hit on Mereoleona and pushing her to unleash her ultimate spell, unleashing a huge burst of mana that shakes the whole battleground. Even though Mereoleona's spell engulfs the Elves, they tough it out, earning Rayleigh's respect with their grit. Just when it looks like things are heating up for the big finale, Mereoleona wakes up out of nowhere, challenging the Elves to bring everything they've got. They respond by gearing up for a massive combined spell, setting the stage for an epic showdown to wrap up their intense clash. But in the end, Mereoleona had the upper hand with the help of Asta and Zora. And that's a wrap on the awesome feats of anime mentors. Which mentor's power display blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date with all things anime. Until next time, keep watching and stay entertained.